Alright Bambinos, so as I said in my last video, I have spent quite a long time, as you can see through the length of this video, just painting up some sprues and trying out some different techniques for orc flesh. So I haven't gone really deep into like actual painting orc flesh in this one. This is mainly first coat coverage really, with a couple of little bits where they have a couple of coats on them. I have tried throughout the video to put images of what it is I'm talking about on the video, but this video took ages to edit, even though like the plan was to not edit it and just throw it up. As soon as I realised that the camera angle from this guy is not great, I realised I'm going to have to put images in so you can understand what it is I'm actually talking about. So yeah, it took ages to put those photos in because my poor little computer did not like having to even think about doing all that. So, as this video is already too long, I will now just pass this over to past Scragglefoot, and he will explain probably again what's going on, and I shall see you at the end if this video does indeed ever end. Okay, so orc flesh. As I'm going to have to paint a lot of orcs, let's have a look at the best way to get a good orc flesh going on with them. So what I've done is I've just got 3 sprues here of just the arms from the basic boy set. The original one, not the newer one that's coming out soon. And I've painted 1 white, 1 black, and 1 zenithal, which is something that everyone seems to be super excited about at the moment, which back when I started I don't think we ever did zenithal back then, but let's give it a go. Let's try everything. So I am going to keep them on the sprue. I can hear you shouting already. What about the mould lines? What about, you know, the contact points from where the sprue's attaching, like on the arms and like bits on the back of the hand and bits and pieces. But to be honest, these ones are just for sorting out the paint scheme for them. So I'm not super invested in these ones. I have a lot of orcs, a lot of orcs on sprues like this. So I maybe will further down the line clip them off, use them as arms if need be, but at the moment it's just going to be about testing out different paint schemes. So that's the plan. And as I've got 3 different, I did have a green spray, but unfortunately that didn't work, so I only had a black and white rattle can, so that's what I've had to use. So I plan to do as many different types of skin as possible, and then maybe at the end, down in the comments, you can let me know which is your favourite one, or if you hate them all, do feel free to let me know as well. So I have been digging out all my paints as well. I haven't used them for a long time, so there is a high probability they're going to be trash. So if that's the case, I have got some just acrylic, textbook classic acrylic, got quite a few colours of that. And also I have got some of the Citadel, the newer Citadel ones from when I got Conquest, the Partworks that came out last year. I think I got the first 30 issues of that, so I got some paint from that, but I didn't get all the paint, obviously, because I'm not made of money. If I was made of money, do you think I'd still be as fat as I am? No? Good. Okay, let's go. Right, so, start off with, how about we just start with the white ones, white undercoated ones, and then have a go at, because I'm guessing with these ones we could just use some washes and see what they're like. So let's give that a go. I've got some Thacker Green that's still liquid, which is good. So let's give that a go. I've got a random paintbrush. I probably got this through Conquest as well. I have a lot of brushes anyway, so again, I'm not super concerned about everything. As you can see, I'm using the classic palette. I haven't got a wet palette, but try not to hold that against me. So let's just try some of this. I suppose we should do it straight out of the pot to see what it's like. Well, let's go for this one. You see that? Ish. Yeah, good enough. Okay, let's slather this bad boy on. That's what she said. Okay, so as you can see on the white, it's very light, which is good, I suppose. I don't think all the orcs should have the same coloured flesh. You know, they all grow from fungus. There are lots of different colours. So let's just paint this up. Straight from the pot. I did also quickly go over all these and remove any obvious mould lines, but there might still be a few on there, so again, you're going to have to forgive me if there's some terrifying, I know they're terrifying, mould lines left on here. Okay, so that's that arm has had that wash on it, and that looks, I mean, you can't really see it very well on the camera. Maybe if I come closer. How about now? Can you see it now? No? What if I go with my own hand? That's a bit better, I suppose. There you are. Okay, so that's with Thacker Green, just from the pot. I mean, I don't really think we need to water this one down at all, because I don't think we're going to get much. So let's just try on this arm with it slightly watered down. Okay. Okay, yeah, so watered down is not that much different than the non-watered down one, so just missed his little hand. There you go. So that's the Thacker Green, just on a white base. Don't know if you can see that very well. Probably not. So apologies. I will try and put some pictures at the end, a little, or maybe just like a pop in here of what it looks like. Okay, so that one's just Thacker Green. Lovely. So, very pale. I don't dislike it, but it's not, probably not. I mean, already it's not my favourite, so that's not a good sign. What other colours have we got here? As you can tell, I'm super organised. Okay, how about Orc Hide Shade? Now that sounds particularly orky. I'll just give it a shake. I hope it's not, it doesn't look great, but hopefully it's not too bad. I don't know why I smelled that. I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, so that one's a lot darker. A lot darker. So let's slap some of that on there. Add in some water. A bit of water. Okay. So let's just do this one here. So I've already done it wrong. I should have just done the yeah, I've already done it wrong, but you know, I've started, so let's just paint the whole thing this colour. This is a much darker green. Flip that bad boy over. And to me it looks like he's wearing a glove, so let's just do his fingers. And there's little walkies up. Okay, now I've gone a bit wrong with that already, because you know, the whole idea of having the lighter undercoat is so they can see it, and that hasn't really helped. So maybe, what if I just rub off? If I do, this is kind of like wet brushing. You know, the opposite to dry brushing. Obviously, this is a finger, but I'm not gonna say what that would be called. That would probably get me demonetized. But feel free to think in your head about what that would be and have a chuckle. And I mean, I think that works quite well, actually. I'm actually liking that a lot more than I did a second ago. Yeah, that's actually come up quite nice. Alright, let's try that again with wet brushing in mind, shall we? So, wet the brush up, drop something on the floor, and slather it on. Making sure you only want it where you want. Only put it where you want it. So is he wearing a glove on this hand as well? I think he is. Let's say he is. Okay. So for wet brushing, you want it very wet, obviously. Hence the name. You're going to make sure you get it all over all the areas. And then, see, normally you'd use a bit of kitchen towel, but I don't have any on me at the moment, so I'll just use my finger. I'll use a different finger, and then you just kind of just stroke away at it. Again, it doesn't matter if you get a little bit in the different places, but I do quite like that. I think that's looking quite good actually. For something that doesn't take very long, just a bit of wet brushing. It really shows up the, looks like it's nicely blended, even though it's obviously cheating as hell. Not that, no, there's no such thing as cheating. Lovely. So I guess as I've mentioned dry brushing, we should try that one as well. So how about we try it with this green, and we can see the difference between. No, dry brushing wouldn't work too well on this whiter skin. On this whiter start, really. Dry brushing, wet brushing would be the way to go for having this wet start, having this whiter base. Yeah, kind of like it. I mean, that was super quick, wasn't it? It's like boom. It's almost like all the highlighting and it's done for you. But it's not, obviously. Okay, let's try something different. So we've tried a shade, we've tried some wet blending. How about right? How about what other greens have I got? Oh, I've got this green, bilious green. Don't think this is going to be alive. Oh no, that's very dead. Yeah, bilious green no more, unfortunately. I've got another bilious green. Goblin green, goblin green. Alright, let's try Camo Green. Let's see if this one is alive. Oof. Again, this one's dead as well. This isn't going very well. That's another green dead. Dead. Okay, scratch that. Let's try Vile Green. It's not a good sound. No. That one's also dead. Yeah. As I said, I haven't. It's been a while. Been a while. Alright, I've got this one. Narlock Green. I mean, that does not look green. That looks blue. Am I a liar? Am I... Should just shake this up a bit more, maybe? Or maybe get a shitty brush. Shitty brush. Shitty brush. Okay, let's just try mixing this up a bit. Okay, I mean, at least it's looking green now. That's always a bonus. Alright. Let's try some of this. So this is not as dark a green as the Thraka Green. Okay. So again, let's try it. I see, ideally we just want it in the... It's like a reverse highlight. Or shadow, I suppose. That's what reverse highlights are called, aren't they? But I'm also thinking that how well the wet brush came out over there. I'm tempted just to try that again and see what that looks like. Okay, this one's not wearing gloves, so a bit more going up on this one. Okay, almost there, just these little fingies. There's a little trigger fingy. Okay, and then again, I might have left this a bit too long, so we just wet the paint a bit more. And then, yeah, this one hasn't come out very as well. I either left it too long over. I mean, I like the colour, it's just not exactly what I would have wanted. So, disaster. That one's a disaster. So, should we try it on this one? It's quite similar to that one. Let's see how it goes. You're all greened up. You're not wearing a glove. Sorry, I realise I keep floating out of where the camera is because I don't normally paint so far away. Okay. Okay, and then let's try and see if it will work. I mean, yeah, it kind of works. I think it will need more work on top of this. Yeah. I think the Thacker Green so far is not the Thacker Green. The Orc Hide Shade one, especially for this wet brushing. It's definitely what I prefer out of those three. The just using the wash, the Thacker Green wash, does definitely make a more softer orc. I mean, texture for sure, but yeah. Okay, let's try at least one more. So, what have we got? Okay, let's try something different and try like a desert yellow. If this paint is almost alive. Oh, we might have, I wouldn't say a winner, but a living one. Okay, so as I said before, I do prefer like multicoloured orcs that have different, even ones in like the same mob will have different skin colours. So I thought of maybe like a, not necessarily more sickly, but a this is desert yellow, so this is a much lighter, not really green as such, but I could always try putting a wash over it afterwards. Just if I put that wash over, maybe that will add that tinge of green. So yeah, if I'm going to be adding a wash, I won't do this as a wet brush. I guess if I'm honest, I'm more used to just starting with black than starting with white. Because that's basically how I've always painted, from dark to light instead of light to dark. So it is throwing me off a little bit. But we've got to try these things. If you don't try, you never know. Okay, so let's just do this arm here. I realise I've made a fatal error. I think. How come he's got two? That one's obviously clapping. This is the clapping orc. Just if I wanted to use these arms in the future. It would have to be more. So yeah, I'm not being particularly careful with the paint here. I'm just making sure I get the coverage that I need. Getting all the bits and bobs done. Both arms. See, there's a bit of a mould line on this one I've missed, but as I said, I'm not super concerned because I can always go back and tidy it up if need be. There's only a little one on the top of the shoulder here, but that's okay. Okay, so yeah, I think it's still greenish, but maybe if I put the Thacker Green wash over it, this wash over it. But to do that, obviously, I need to wait for that to dry. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, let's do another one. See what we've got. Okay, how about Snot Green? Oh, I don't know if that doesn't look very. Oh no, no, wait. Maybe it needs some water to wake it up. Let's get the rubbish brush. Dig down a bit, get some pigment. Yep, okay. So this is quite a bright green already, so I think this is going to be like super bright on the actual, with the white undercoat. Yeah, super bright. There's a bit of a mould line here as well, but never mind. Such is life. Get his little fingies. and his fingies. So obviously I'm not being super careful with this, and I'm not like doing any like blending or layering or anything really. It's just a case of seeing. I've got a lot of orcs to paint, you see, so I want them to look good quickly. I mean, I know I could probably put a green base coat on, but I don't really have an airbrush, so the only way to do that would be actually buy a green rattle can, and as stated earlier, I'm not made of money. Just doing. And obviously there are hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of ways of painting orc skin. And there are loads of tutorials on YouTube already that I've seen. Yeah, I just want to find something, because I am one to get kind of carried away with painting and just spend a million hours on like a single model, and there's like a troop choice as well, like just a single gene stealer. I'm there doing blending. So if I go into it knowing how long it takes just to get your basic textbook orc skin done, hopefully that will help my motivation to actually do some. Okay, that one's still a bit wet. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to add to that, I'm just going to add a little bit of rotting flesh. Just a smidge. Just as a quick highlight colour for that one, because I'm still waiting for the other one to dry. So while I'm here, I might as well try and do one a little bit more fancy and do some like more natural highlights on it. The reason I'm using rotten flesh is because it was literally right there. That's why I'm using rotten flesh. Just a little highlight there and there. Just to give a bit more of a definition. Okay, and then let's look at this other one. So again, I'm just kind of smoothing out the brush strokes from before. And just adding in a little bit of colour. Well, obviously there's colour there, there's green there, but a bit of a lighter green. Okay, yeah, that looks okay. Can you see that there? Can you see it, or is it just a green blob to you? I can't even. And there's the. Can't work out where my hands are. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bit of that wash to the browner one. So this is the Thrack Green. We'll water this down a bit, because I don't want it to overpower the like yellowy brown, but I want it to be noticed still. So just do yeah. I mean, that is giving it that green, but I might have preferred it before, if I'm honest. I guess I could throw that all over the place. I guess I could go in with a highlight of the original colour after this to try and get some of that colour back. Yeah. So yeah, it looks like a dirty green, which isn't a bad thing, but it's not. I mean, it's not fantastic. Maybe if I go over it with this. Just to highlight these orcish muscles a bit. Just to kind of drown that brown, to drown the green a bit by adding in that yellowy brown again. Yeah. I'm not sure. So this one over here is the classic, like Orc Green, I think. And then we have the very light, which is just the wash over the white. And the kind of darker Orc shade. Then the Scarlet Green. sorry, the Nullock Green, and then the Desert Yellow, is it? Desert Yellow one there, and with a green wash and without a green wash. And I don't know. What do you guys think? Okay. Well, if we try a combination of washes, so we've got the green wash, which we've done here. What if we did a washes have I got? Oh. Got Ogre Flesh. So I'm guessing this is brown. Yeah, that's like a reddy brown. So we could try that. Let's try a reddy brown. So I'm still getting used to where the camera is, so I know it's not the best camera either, so I'm sorry for what you're seeing of blurs and moving sprues. Okay, so that's a very light brown one, which obviously is very similar to the very light green one over here. But what I'm going to do is put some of that on top of it once this one's dry, and just see how that changes it. So I'll do another one just to have one that's just this. While I'm waiting for that one to dry. This one wearing gloves as well. It's obviously been a while since I've painted any of these because I forgot that some of them were wearing gloves. I suppose orcs get cold too, though they're fingerless gloves, so. Yeah, can't see me at all. Okay, and I mean that one looks kind of like, I guess as the name implies, ogre flesh. It's like kind of very human fleshiness on that one. Okay, well, waiting for that one to dry. How about new oil? And that's, everyone always talks about how awesome this is. Don't think I've ever tried it before, so I mean that's basically see-through, isn't it? I should mix it first. Okay, well, so I mean, if I'm honest, it just looks like a very watered down black ink. Let's see. I mean, yeah, it looks like a very watered down black ink. Get little fingies. This is another reason why I kept it on the sprue, you see, because it's a lot easier to hold a sprue than to have to hold one arm at a random angle. And yeah, this just seems like a watered down black ink, but... or blink, as we used to call it. Okay, yeah. So as they're just washes, they're taking a while to dry. So the last white one we try. What should we try? How about Scorpion Green? This is a very bright green, so this might work quite well with a noon hour wash afterwards. Oh, look at that, it's horrible. Monkey brush. Okay, some Scorpion Green. Let's pop this on there. I mean, Scorpion Green is looking quite nice, if I'm honest, going on. Again, it's a slightly different green, but as I said before, I do think that the orcs won't all be the same colour. Maybe they darken as they get older, maybe some have more reds and blues and greens and purples and in their actual skin. Just getting his little fingies. So yeah, this green's quite nice actually. I expected it to be a lot like more in your face, and it's coming out as. Yeah. Okay, let's just do that last bit here, and then that's all the arms on this sprue in white done. With the base coat of white done, even. You know what I mean. Little fingies. Again, I'm not being super careful because I'm just getting this colour down. And I'm not worrying about having to paint the bracelet or the gun afterwards, so if I use these arms at some point, I can always sort it out at that point. I can burn that bridge when I get to it. Okay. I think that's... Yeah, I quite like Scorpion Green. Definitely not as... I thought it was going to be super garish. Especially on this white base spray, but it actually looks quite good. I'm impressed. Okay, so I'll just leave it there. Clean my brush. Clean my other brush. I'll leave it there for a second till they're dry, and then I'll finish off what I was planning to do on those. So I'll be back in just 1 second. Or for you, now. Okay, yep, so everything's dry now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try for the Ogre Flesh wash and the Noon oil. I'm just going to try and add a bit more green to that. So I figured I'd try a bit of the Thraka Green wash, as that's been quite successful so far. So I'm just going to go over the Ogre in Flesh a bit, just to give it a bit of a... So yeah, it looks a bit like a dirty green. Just giving it that green tinge. Gosh, getting his little fingies. So yeah, it's nice that the ogre in flesh has still remained, but there is now that like light green tinge to it. Yeah. So I'll do the same to just the one that used the noon oil. Just a bit of green on there as well. Yeah, that bit of green does make quite a bit of difference on this one, as the noon wash was quite dark. So it's just making it look a bit and then just the last one here. A little bit of green. Just to taint it. Fingies. So yeah, I think they're both quite successful. Maybe if I try putting a little bit on this scorpion green. Just deepens that. Deepens the colours there. Yeah, that is quite nice. Fingies. Yeah. Okay, and how about we try doing an ogre flesh over that other one. Lovely. So this is just adding a bit of that browny colour, making it look a bit dirtier. Yeah, I mean that's also quite successful. Just giving it a bit more interest than just the green, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, so that's the white sprue done. So let's try the black sprue, shall we? Okay. Okay, so with the black sprue, obviously we've now got the darks which need to get to the lights, so this is an ideal time to try a bit of dry brushing. So let's get a dry brush. So that has a dry brush here. Okay, I do. Okay, so as we've got some scorpion green here already, I did get some tissue, so let's try some of this as a dry brush and see what it looks like. Okay, doesn't look great. Does not look great. Yeah, it's not the best looking green, I think, to go over this, because the green itself is quite bright, so dry brushing that over something so dark is very obvious, I guess. Yeah, that just looks bad. Okay, well that's good. We're learning something. So don't dry brush that. Boom, sorted. Okay, how about we try dry brushing some snot green? So this is it came out as the more classic orky colour. This is a bit darker. So let's try this one. If I'm honest, it doesn't look right. Dry brushing is the way to go with this orc skin, because it just looks very dry brushed, I guess, and that's not really a super good look. So yeah, there's definitely a lot more work that needs to be done. I mean, this is probably one of the reasons I never painted all my orcs, to be honest, because I used to spray everything black, and zenithal wasn't really something that we used to do back in Deer. So yeah, I mean that's also not good. Okay, so if dry brushing's not the future, let's try something else. So I quite liked that desert yellow. So let's see if we can get anything good from this desert yellow. See if any good can come of it. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be a bit more of actual painting rather than dry brushing. It's quite watery. Yeah, it's kind of just... Okay, maybe I'm just bad at this, you know. It's been a while. Been a while. Okay, let's try and get a bit thicker of the paint. So yeah, this looks like it's going to need a couple of coats, which doesn't help in the speed aspect of having to paint so many orcs. But that's probably going to be the same with anything using this just black undercoat. I mean, it does make me interested to see how different it's going to look with the zenithal. But yeah, that's going to need a couple of coats. I know, 2 thin coats and such, but yeah, I'm not super excited about that one either. What other ones did we do? So about so yeah, I mean, already I can tell that I don't think that the black undercoat, just the pure black undercoat, is the future. I mean, this one is very dark. On top of obviously this very dark base coat. Does have better coverage, but it's a foundation. I don't know if they still do foundation paints. They might have moved everything to contrast, but yeah, again, I like this colour. But it's gonna need a lot more work to get it in a place that I'm happy with, for sure. Yeah, this green is so dark it just looks like a very black green. I suppose it's dark green. That's basically what a black green is, isn't it? Yeah, I'm definitely thinking if zenithal doesn't work out, white undercoat is the future. But black will still have its place. I think vehicles might be better with the black undercoat just because of all the metallic and such. But I need to wait for that to dry before I can do anything else, so I'll move on to something else. How about... I've tried that one. I've got this Camry Brown. This is a foundation as well. Again, just need to mix that up. So yeah, I don't really come into this with a plan. I figured I'd... Oh, is it even alive? No. Might be away. Never mind. Move along. Oh, Goblin Green, the classic. We used to paint our bases back in the day. Okay, so let's try a bit of Goblin Green. If I remember correctly, this has got quite good coverage because, you know, we used to paint it on our bases all the time. Yeah, this has got quite good coverage. Still think is... Yeah, this looks like that classic orcs that I used to paint. Okay, let's do the other arm as well. little fingies. Okay, I was a bit less careful on this one, but I think that's the most striking out of the three. You can definitely, well, I can definitely, I don't know if you can see anything, to be fair. Out of all of these ones, and then this one, that one's definitely stands out more. I think with these ones I'm going to need some more, definitely more work on them. Like another coat maybe. Okay, so that's Goblin Green. That worked quite well for the black undercoat. What next? Well, I can probably go back and do another coat on these actually. If I can remember which ones were which. So, desert yellow. Yeah, this definitely needs 2 coats at least. Then probably a wash afterwards. Get little fingies. Okay. So yeah, 2 coats definitely looks better. It's not, still not super cute. Let's do another. So if we mix a little bit of this with some Goblin Green to make a highlight. And then do this on that one. Because this one basically was just black with a hint of green. So adding that a little bit of Goblin Green to it. Just gives it that extra greeniness, I guess. If that's a word. If not, is now. And yeah, I'm not being super careful, this is just about seeing what looks right or what looks good, rather than being super careful. And I mean, yeah, it is quite dark. Let's try adding a bit more Goblin Green to it. I mean, this could probably be worked all the way up to Goblin Green. And you know, it doesn't look bad, but this is the third layer of paint going onto it, so you'd hope it wouldn't look bad by this point, but is 3 layers too much? That's the question. Yeah, because this one here took 3 layers, or 3 coats to get to this, where this is just 1 coat of Goblin Green, and I think that Goblin Green looks better than this one. Obviously the Goblin Green one's not perfect. That could still be highlighted and such, but as a good base, as a quick, simple, like wham bam, I think it works quite well. And I do like the desert one, the desert yellow, but I don't think it's great over a black base coat. Okay, so I've got a few more. So should we try some? I've got some Rakarth flesh. Rakarth. Okay, let's give this a go. It's a bit of a different colour. Maybe this one will work better over the black than the desert yellow. So let's give it a go and see. It's quite watered down. Little fingies. And I mean, it's not terrible. Again, maybe this is too watered down because it's quite an old paint, so I've had to try and rescue it slightly. But yeah, and I mean the colour is interesting. Maybe try doing a wash over it. Just get his little fingies. Yeah. So yeah, it covered quite well, but it's not fantastic. I think that one would definitely need a wash over it. Yeah. I'm still coming back to this Goblin Green. That Goblin Green looks great, in my opinion. In one coat. Maybe I'm just watering down the paints a bit too much. Okay. Okay, how about we try... So I tried that one. Tried that one. They're washes. I tried Snot Green. Tried Desert Yellow. Tried Goblin Green. How about we try this Narlock Green? I don't think I've already tried it. Did I already try? No, I didn't. Okay. Okay. I mean, this is going on quite well. So yeah, obviously with the characters and such, I'll be spending a lot more time on their skin and like getting it looking as good as I can. But with the squillions of boys I've got to paint, it's knowing that I can get it done fast, get it done in and out quite quick. That's what she said. I'll be able to hopefully get myself a bit more excited about painting that many boys. Obviously it's a grave I've dug for myself, but someone's got to jump in, and I made it, so only seems fair. Yeah, I quite like this one as well, actually. Yeah. So that's, which one was that? That was Orc Green. That was quite good. And the classic Goblin Green. I think I'm winning so far on these. I mean, I do like that there's a lot of variation in the colours, but yeah. Okay, so one more, last one. Let's try something crazy. Orc turquoise. Why not? Let's give that a go. Oh. Okay, let's not give that a go. See if the universe doesn't want me to go that crazy. But Dark Angel's green, I suppose that's quite similar to what I've already done there, isn't it? I can't really be classed as going crazy. How about Charred and Granite? I mean, that's not shaking, that's not a good start. That just looks black. Okay. This is kind of like a very dark grey, almost a granite colour, you could say, I guess. Yeah, I mean, maybe with a wash afterwards, this could look quite good. Maybe with that Thacker Green wash afterwards. Got a bit of a mould line there, don't mind. Could. Maybe it's a bit too dark still for the Thacker Green. Oh, went to the wrong paint. That's why I was like, oh, that's covering a lot better. That's because I didn't go to granite. I went to green. Let's see if I can wipe that off. That's good enough for me. Okay, I mean, yeah, it definitely still needs work, but just the black undercoat, I definitely think Goblin Green is the way to go. Goblin Green and the Narlet Green. Those two there are I think the best covering ones. The Charred and Granite looks okay, but not fantastic. The Desert Yellow is just not covering the black well enough, so might need a couple of layers of that. Yeah, so that's the black sprue done. So now we can move on to the fancy black and white sprue, the more zenithal-y. Obviously, with this still on the sprue, it was a bit tough to do a zenithal, so I did my best. Even did it on the bodies. I was painting those. So, as we've got it on the palette, let's start with Narlet Green and see how that goes. So yeah, it definitely covers grey better than it covers black. Ain't that the truth? And I can see how it's giving, like, from where it's mainly black paint to where it's mainly white paint, and then the grey bits. That different, like it's mainly black over here because I messed up that zenithal, but yeah, the coverage is definitely better on the grey, obviously. His little fingies. And it still needs some work to it. Like I think maybe a second coat would be good. So we're just kind of running into the same issues that I had with just the black spray. What if we did some Goblin Green then? As that was successful on the black, but we didn't try it on the white. So yeah, this would probably have helped if I did, like, you know, a perfect zenithal, perfect shading spray instead of the haphazard make it up as you go along. I think that looks about right spray. But you know, it doesn't look terrible bad. fingies. Yeah. Okay, and what should we try next? How about that? Desert yellow. You know, I figure like the orcs that live in the desert or are in the desert quite a lot might be a bit more deserty colour, maybe? Question mark. Let's give this a go. Ah, yeah, so this is a guy. For this colour, we're getting the best of the white with some of the benefits of having a darker little fingies. Yeah, his little okay, that's pretty white. So yeah, this isn't a perfect test of zenithal because, you know, I did it in kind of a haphazard way, but I can see why everyone loves it. Okay, cool. So, I mean, I think that's enough experimentation with the zenithal, as I've done 2.5 sprues now. And which one do you like the best, or do you hate them all? I will try and put some close-up pictures in the video. Let me know what your recipe for quick orc skin is, and which of which of these you think I should try a bit harder on, maybe. Okay, great. Over to you, Scragglefoot. What? The video's over? Oh, hooray! Woo! Wait, what year is it? Who's the president? Yeah. No, it hasn't been that long. Well, it may feel like it, unless you watched it in double speed, which, good tip. So well done for making it, unless you just skipped here. I know you did. Just to see what this bit's about at the end, you skipped through the video and saw that it changes back to me, and you were like, oh, I wonder why he says that. Oh, I know you did. So, yeah, if you want to see any other pictures at all that I managed to put up on the screen while I was talking about it, check out my Instagram, which is just @Scragglefoot. I'll put a link in the what they call the doobly-doo, I believe, the description down below. And feel free to like, dislike for as long as you can, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because who wouldn't want to miss out on this craziness? I'm going to actually be doing some sculpting next time, so keep an eye out for that. Hit that little bell so that every time that a new video comes up, it appears in your feed. Yeah, feed. And yeah, okay. Have a good one. Bye-bye now.